there's a good chance on the VODs after will be muted on Twitch's side. So it's not the biggest deal. Like, I've talked about this. Okay, so I'll just quickly talk about it right here. I am locally recording on my side as well. You know, that mixed with now playing this all freeware music, it shouldn't be an issue for us. So the VODs on a Twitch side should still work just fine. And, you know, we upload them to YouTube as soon as possible. And I think it's safe to say I've been doing a little bit better as far as getting those up ASAP as well, if anything. So, in the end, really doesn't affect us too much. But, yeah, there's this huge thing about it, though. And understandably, but the whole Google thing.
It is. Anyway, so, yeah, similar bands coming out though. Parasite, Cthulhu Trouble, and Silhouette though.
Yeah. Cthulhu font, so not going to see him here. But so kind of Parasite's the only reaction, I guess. I think what was it? Swiftplay was the band last game, so.
Yeah. Instant Swiftplay.
There you go. Swiftplay picked up by our Hellborn side. So you see Magnus though prioritized here for the Legion side. Oh, okay. Was by Ogre against Reason. Count Crapula went 25-7 on Swiftblade with 591 gold per minute, was unsuccessful. Okay. Very interesting. 591 GPM Swiftblade. Lost a game.
Still lost.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's something.
Surprising.
Anyways, so back to this one though. Glacius, the follow-up here. Again, seems like Glacius definitely making more and more of a stand lately on the competitive scene. You know, a mixture of maybe that buff, but also trial lanes, you know, the Swiftblade combination. There's a lot of factors that come into play there. So, Torturer coming out in response, though. I'm thinking, you obviously, you know, Empath is now something you maybe be eyeing here.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't seen Empath in ages. It feels like, but yet we still have seen Swiftplay. I'm surprised that them two haven't really been picked up. I don't think there's been any sort of changes to her or Swiftplay that would warrant, you know, Empath not being picked up. But we used to see sort of Swiftplay and Empath every single game, yet they sort of died off. And I'm not really sure why.
We'll see if Adrian's family does that here, or if they go another route as well. Again, if they don't pick it up here, there's probably a good chance most Tavern will ban it out in the next year of bans. It's just such strong synergy with a hero like Swiftblade. So they do go Madman themselves, though. That's where they're going to prioritize. So Madman for possibly that suicide potentially. You know, we did see that Madman recently. His Bubbles is actually picked up by Hellborn style. But, you know, there was that stat that brought up how, you know, when it comes to carry Madman, you know, the short lane or whatever, he actually isn't nearly as successful as he is as a suicide Madman, which is where he really shines when it comes down to it. But there's the Empath ban right off the bat. Yeah, there you go. Nearly a 70% win percentage with those two heroes in 23 games on the same team. So,
yeah, I mean, the only thing I could really think about is that if you have Empath and Swiftblade on the same team, it's most likely going to be a tri lane. So I guess the other team could sort of expect a tri lane as a result, sort of, you know, lane accordingly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the hero is so strong anyway. Like, even if you don't lane them together, it's not like it's going to a massive difference really. But in the end, we do see it banned here, so we won't see it at all anyway. So.
There you go. You see Puppet Master also taken out, this time by the Hellborn side. So, yeah, Most Tavern had that Puppet Master play last game, but won't get it around this time around. You know, again, they had the Madman, but probably still going to be looking for more of that short lane carry here. We'll see what that comes down to. But again, that game one, though, that was definitely a very well-played game by both sides. They definitely had their shining moments, and very, you know, even in a sense of, I could definitely see, like I said, this series going 3 games, and who knows who's ultimately going to come out on top. But we do got Kraken ban now going to be happening right there, coming out by our Legion team once again. So spending a bit of extra time as a Legion side so far as they're concerned. So, ooh, you look at the Madman stat again. That's another one of the surprising ones. You know, 24 games. He's not the most popular, not like a Gauntlet, like the Gauntlet surprising maybe, but you know, only 37.5 win percentage there. So you got that compared amongst other heroes. Gunblade banned out.
Yep.
All right.
So this is the team that actually got banned out. You know, the Clanks as well. Actually, I don't think Clanks will go on banned unless they sort of pick them up in the last banning phase, which is definitely not definitely not an unpossibility, because I mean, now plays a fantastic Clanks and Gunblade. I know you haven't seen it on Honcast, but in scrims he's very one to be feared, sort of like Marcus Moyes' sort of silhouette in sort of similar sort of sense, in that sort of sense, and he's just so fantastic with it. But we'll have to see here. And they're eyeing up the Gladiator as well. I mean, that's why I love the Hon at the moment. There's so many different heroes that are sort of being picked up now, but there is the Clanks But yeah, it's so awesome to see so much variety, and it sort of shows that the game's quite balanced in itself.
I agree, but it's at the same time, it's like I want to see the hero play. Damn it! Like,
Yeah,
okay, respect fans, sure, hashtag respect, go ahead, but at the same time, man, I want to see it played. But no, not going to be the case here. They do pick up Wretched Hag though, actually, as their option, and that in the end will more than likely be their short lane farmer here. You'd expect with the lineup that they currently have, so we'll see again how that ultimately plays out. But if that's the case too, then with their lineup, they're very likely showing that they may run a tri-lane here, actually, unless they want to go kind of a jungle hero, something like the Tempest or the Ophelia are still on the board. We made a point to that out. They maybe aren't nearly as powerful or considered to be as they've been in the past, and a lot of that has to do with the playstyle of the game right now even. But they are still valid options, definitely. So. And AoE Synergy most certainly a part of this Legion side, so hell, I would not be surprised to see Tempest with that said. But at the same time, you probably do expect some kind of trial line to be ran here by the Hellborn team, so maybe they're just setting up for that even.
Oh!
I know Beef is, if Beef is watching right now, he's happy. I'll just say that. He's probably a happy dude right now, so. Voodoo Jester coming out. He's made opinions that he loves this hero, and I gotta agree with him. I mean, this is another one of those kind of fun, different heroes being picked up here. Cursed Ground is powerful, man.
So strong, so strong. Get level 3, and you could dare say that you can't even lane against. I mean, I used to pick up Intimate all the time because if you can get level 3 on Voodoo Jester and just sort of pop it when you're going for an initiation in a lane, it's so strong. And Rhapsody 5th pick, that's so rare to see.
Huh.
But I guess, I mean, like we said before, heroes becoming in and out of fashion in terms of the metagame.
Yeah, Rhapsody, exactly. I'm just seeing stuff like that. What used to be a first pick potential hero within even the last couple of months, all of a sudden now, last picked here in this game and almost even passed up. So I got to double check this real quickly.
Cursed or cursed or cursed.
Okay, so I'm clarifying right there. Oh, that's right. You probably could have heard that, couldn't you? Okay.
Yeah.
So now this is one of those words that is always I've always got flamed for in terms of you're just pronouncing it wrong. It's like according to dictionary.com, it's either or. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep saying Cursed Ground. Anyways, I'm pretty sure it's like tomato kind of deal. Exactly,
English,
yeah.
Potato,
potato.
I say cursed, you say cursed.
There you go. Well, we're both right. I'm righter though, because I'm a Merca. That's how it works. Merca. Gauntlet the final pick, by the way. A loud noises happening in my house. Gauntlet the final pick coming out, and again, talk about here. I'm sure he's going to post that stat line for Gauntlet, but again, that's the one that was really kind of stand out when he posted that. It's like 17% win percentage or something like that. So usually does not have the best results, and definitely surprising because he is a powerful hero. But so with that said, though, now the Gauntlet final pick, the more I'm looking at this too, I wouldn't dare. Okay, yeah, there you go. It's not going to be a Gauntlet tri-lane, is it? It's still probably going to be a Swift play tri-lane.
I think so. It's probably going to be a solo Gauntlet, most likely. I mean, the hero's still good 1v1. I mean, I think it does excel in a dual lane because you can really take use of the hook, sort of similar to a Devourer. Yeah, you can solo, but probably better in a dual lane or even a tri-lane, but at the same time can definitely hold his own. I think he might need to get pulled regen, though, because if he is against the Magmus, obviously he's most likely going to lose that matchup because Magmus is so sort of fervent and so useful in terms of a 1v1 against a melee. But at the same time, if he goes against Wretched Hag, then range versus melee, then he'd also need some pulled regen. So either way, I'd like to see him some kind of pulled regen come out from maybe Mega Beaver. Talking about the Voodoo Jester, the 100% win rate, only one game to be fair. But,
yeah, that's
100% win rate. I mean, I don't know why they don't just first pick these heroes every single time if he's got that kind of stats.
Obviously, right there, that's this first pick potential every time. Yeah, one game, not the most stats there to really look at that too much. But hey, the one game he was played, he did get a win clearly, and again, like I said, that doesn't surprise me. It's not like this is a off the wall, like, oh god, what are they thinking kind of pick. I mean, he has a great skill set as a support hero. A solid stun. It's somewhat RNG heavy, sure, but it still is a solid stun. With that said, you got the Cursed Ground as we talked about, and his ultimate's nothing to really scoff at either. And this is also, I kind of wonder who's going to be the main support here. It probably is going to be Voodoo Jester, being played by Mega Beaver. But I was going to say, as a secondary support, he could be something of a threat, too. You get something like a Shrunken Head, especially even the Staff of the Master. That's a lot of damage that he can really split in those fights. with that ultimate of his, the Spirit Ward, as it's called. So.
Actually, I think actually we probably will see the Voodoo Jester on the main support because I think that's the role Mega Viva plays. But I would actually really like to see him go secondary support because we talked about this before, haven't we, Breaky? How we'd like to see one support playing like sort of the laning support, which in this case would be the Torturer, and then having some kind of support that sort of has an impact outside of the laning phase. And I think that hero is definitely the Voodoo Jester. So if you can get out of the laning phase with some kind of extra farm, maybe pick up the Strong and Head, even the Staff of the Master. I mean, he could have so much more impact than say this Torturer with the same amount of farm, in my opinion. So I'd like to see him as secondary support, but I don't think we will, just because it depends on the heroes and the players playing them.
Like I said, the way it's lined up right now, more than likely he is the main just simply because of the player playing it. But hey, we'll have to wait and see how that does work out for them. But obviously going to sit in a pause here just a little bit longer before we get to see how these lanes are ultimately going to set up. Always very interesting, especially when the trial lane possibility. It doesn't have to be trial lane, though, with that said. It could definitely be dual lane, as his stat was even pointing out right there. He even dual lanes more often, much more often even than trial lanes, which, it's kind of interesting because whenever I do think Swiftblade, I do think just constant trial lane action with that hero, but that's how it plays out apparently, so.
But yeah, going back to Voodoo Jester though, I mean, like, obviously it's kind of a new hero in terms of the competitive scene, recently more so, and the hero is very, very strong. But like I said, you need to get past that level 3. When he's like level 1, level 2, he's almost bar useless. Honestly, the stun is so weak and the curse of ground is so weak. When he gets to level 2 curse of ground, however, that's the time where they can actually make something happen, and a lot of kills can start to occur. And in that case, I don't know how strong he's going to be in terms of the tri-lane. You see Glacius and Rhapsody, both incredible laning supports, whereas it's only really the Torturer in terms of great laning supports. But at the same time, I probably would prefer Swiftblade compared to a Magmus in the tri-lane. I think I'd edge the sort of Swiftblade just a little bit stronger because of the amount of damage he can bring out in terms of the Blade Frenzy. So in that sense, maybe it sort of balances it out in terms of Voodoo Jester weak, but Swiftblade probably stronger than Magmus in terms of the 2 cores in the tri-lane. But we are on pause, so we'll have to see. I mean, we might even see a Gauntlet in the tri-lane, but I just don't think we will, because I think Gauntlet can sort of solo a little bit better than Swiftblade.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think Swiftblade's a little bit better in terms of the tri-lane anyway. So.
Yeah, and Gauntlet, you're also kind of banking on that hook hitting, and where Swiftblade, you just press Q and you just run up to people, and a little bit easier in that sense. So, yeah, definitely would expect to see the Swiftblade channel. If that even happened, like I said, this could also very possibly be kind of a dual lane setup, especially with how most Tavern looks like they are already setting up. I mean, they are setting the Wretched Hag solo bottom right now, as you can see, and as soon as our Hellborn team gets information on that, that'll probably get them to, of course, quickly react to doing something else here, because trial lane bottom at this point might not be the most effective. Yeah, they're going to leave Torture and Swiftblade down here, so an aggressive dual lane Voodoo Jester for the time being is running towards the middle lane at least. So, again, I don't know if they've really spotted this information just yet. Glacius Madman, though, setting to head top here. So, yeah, it's going to be Glacius Madman lane. That's where you do look at this leader team. The dual lane potential, a little bit stronger on the Hellborn side, I think it's safe to say, as far as the combo of the heroes just makes more sense. Whereas a Madman, he does seem like one of those heroes that can do just fine on his own. You almost want him because he wants to get those decent levels, but is going to have an aggressive dual lane partner here with Glacius, it looks like, for the time being. So do you think that is going to be a huge factor, critical factor, almost hurting them in a sense, or will it actually work out just fine?
It'll be fine, actually, because, I mean, yeah, he wants the levels, but at the same time, he'd probably prefer the uncontested free farm than, say, the experience that is going to happen if Glacius sits with them. And what we're most likely going to see, there is a Torch rotate to the middle lane almost instantaneously once they realise what the lanes are. So expect the Torture to move. And actually, I think this is going to be in favour of Hellborn, because we talked about how Voodoo Jester isn't the strongest of laning support. So if he can sort of get away of not going to Trial, I think it might be actually in favour of Hellborn.
Yeah.
Get some levels on the Voodoo Jester. They're going actually in on the Wretched Hag already.
Oh, jeez. Look at that damage. It's not going to be enough for the kill. The acid cocktails, the chain reactions hitting, but just not enough damage. But, yeah, you can see right there how Leroy playing Wretched Hag is like, okay, I literally just have to hug my tower right now. And any bit of stepping out, I will be in a lot of trouble. So the question is, though, if you're the Hellborn, saying, how long do you sit down here?
Torture should move right now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, because, yeah, I mean, there's definitely a potential for them to kill them if Torture stays down there, but you saw there already. I mean, they couldn't do it. I mean, they could potentially do it now. I mean, I think Hag knows, obviously, he's against Tron and he needs to play back because he's so close to dying. But it looks like they are going to stay down there. I think in terms of sort of gold and no kills happening, I think Torture should go mid. But if they can secure kills on Hag, then of course laying him down here would be the better option.
Yeah. Yeah, you kind of see that stat line right there. It's going to back. Oh, top lane, though, in the meantime, Bubbles. He does Shield Surf away. Going to be fine. They are going to dive. Wretched Hag, though, once again. Acid Cocktail. No, not in time. He's able to blink away and easily disjoint the stun. So, yeah, they're trying, but it's just not working out. So, in the end, they are going to make that rotation. You know, it's one thing.
It should just be Torturer, though.
Oh, yeah? They're sending both?
Because, because then they can just sort of dual lane completely with the Torturer Gauntlet middle, which is a fine tri-lane, and it can work definitely against the Rhapsody Magnus. I mean, it's a fine tri-lane. And at the same time, I mean, Voodoo Jester can sort of box out the Wretched Hag, but... that's what's going to happen. Voodoo Jester is going to pick up the DD and then go bottom, and then Torch rotate mid. But at the same time, it might be a little bit too late. 2 minutes have already occurred, and Magnus has got quite a bit of farm. Oh, top lane, though, Bubba's nearly dropping. Just could not finish him off in the last water attack.
Now, again, kind of a hindsight thing, but could you have argued that Voodoo Jester should have gotten Cursed Ground level 1? They had a solid stun and torture. I mean... And playing that with a spin from Swiftblade. I mean, level 1 isn't the most damage in the end, so...
No, it's not because of that. It's because they wouldn't have been able to stun Torture anyway, or stun the Hag.
Okay.
He was the lead stun because he sort of bounced off a creep, and then it led to Torture being able to stun. And I mean, I understand what you mean, but they wouldn't. Actually, top lane.
Yep, caught that at the last second. They dove big time. The freeze came out, and the barrel roll to assist, so kind of didn't catch the very beginning of that, but clearly they're not afraid to play aggressive against that Bubbles as they dive the tower pretty heavily right there, and then ultimately gets the Bloodlust kill, so well played by our Legion side, and thus the 1-0 start in favor of Moe's Tavern here in what is game number 2 as they have the 1-0 series lead as well. So yeah, Voodoo Jester is level 2 now. He does now have that Cursed Ground, of course, and I don't think there's any argument here. Mojo, it's a solid ability. It's actually decent for, pushing as a team too, and, it's good for healing up and whatnot, but you probably want to max out the Q and the E before touching Mojo here. Oh, middle lane, yeah, Magnus, he's able to stun away in time initially, and he's going to kind of get pulled back in. The hook, actually, it's Rhapsody. It definitely was going for Magnus, but now they may just turn for the Rhapsody kill. Infinite instability. Explosion goes out. Not enough damage, though. Magnus has mana. Hit beautiful stun. It hits both. He's going for the Kona God. No, the pass by the last second. The mana battery even just enough to keep him alive. Does he have the movement speed advantage? Nui gets the kill in the meantime on the Torturer. There was the turner on the Infinite instability. No. Yeah, he chose to turn it. I mean, the stun was coming up, so probably was dead anyways.
And that is honestly the strength of Magnus. I mean, you can't really be able to burst him down, but if those prolonged sort of team fights or little engagements does happen, I mean, you can get multiple stuns off with the Magnus, unlike the Gauntlet. I mean, you did see 2 Infernal Instabilities in the end. But I mean, just the stun offering a little bit more than the Infernal Instability. And as a result, those sort of prolonged sort of chasing down in terms of the Magma stuns is just a little bit better. And as a result, secures 2 kills in the middle lane. Absolutely disastrous coming out from Adrian's family already just 4 minutes in. Yeah,
3-0 Moe's Tavern again, a 1-0 series lead, and they're looking to wrap it up in 2 games. By the way, I did have an update on the other series that was happening here in the losers bracket. Rexstars did 2-0 Team Germany, and apparently pretty quickly in the end, so taking care of business. They're going to play the winner of this series later on today in the losers bracket semifinals. Here we go, though. Yeah, Voodoo Jester in some trouble. Rhapsody coming in with the staccatos. You see Wretched Hag has a blink Sonar Scream. She's not going to go for it just yet. She might want to soon, though. There we go. Not even necessary for the blink. The Sonar Scream does the work. Now Swiftblade should be fine, but he's going to take a lot of harassment damage in the end. Actually, if Hag chased, man, that would have been a kill. And Rhapsody might still get it. Oh, Rhapsody, no! She's 2 to the spin. She goes down. And LG picks up the kill. Oh, man, that's going to be frustrating for Snooey.
Definitely. Oh, that's so awkward as well. You definitely would have had the Swiftblade if he manned up, like you said, but a little bit of indecision was the death of him in the end. But going back to this middle lane, though, as I said, the Torturer rotation was a little bit slow, though, and as a result, that was the little bit of advantage Legion needed to really capitalise, and they got the 2 kills. And now at the moment, after Rhapsody did get that kill as well, he's level 4 now, and I mean, this Legion middle lane, I'm looking sort of a little bit scared here for Hellborn.
Oh, yeah, and you see that stat right there. Speaking of the middle lane, the Magnus Rhapsody, pretty good combination together, no doubt. Now, good job by Gauntlet right there as he grapples to his teammate, staying alive. But Rhapsody just doesn't care, man. He even runs uphill, puts in some more auto attacks, throws out a staccato stun, and kind of just keeps the harassment up. So something kind of quietly in a sense, but, I mean, he did get the Bloodlust kill to be fair, but Madman is already 380 gold per minute at the top lane, 34 and 12 creep farm, and again, that Bloodlust kill also really pushing him up on top of the charts right here. Swiftblade, though, is managing 300 gold per minute himself. Obviously, the kill also that he got assisting with that. Wretched Ag, kind of a fake blink, trying to catch out the acid cocktail right there, but Mega Beaver said, I saw that coming. So nice stun cancel, cast cancellation coming out there from either side. Ghostbusters already picked up on Swiftblade. You do see Madman, though, coming in. Oh, this could be a bad situation, and it looks like it is. The damage output pretty intense. And again, I've said it many times before, the power of Madman, the skill set, it allows him to do so much damage even without the item farm. And be active like he was right there early on. So good play coming out from Now right there playing the Madman. Oh, middle lane in the meantime. Colin's going to be jumped in on. He's going to drop pretty quickly. Double damage. Rhapsody will help with that. And actually now Torture is in a lot of trouble. Magma Stun going to be coming up. Not even necessary because guess what? The active Madman also running to the middle lane and setting up another kill in the end. So whew, this is a huge start for Moe's Tavern.
Yeah, and such good active play come out from Now, though. I mean, like, he not only does... Actually, top lane, though.
What's happening up here? A dive from Bubbles. He's going to chase that. Oh, the final auto attack! He thought he had it! And now he's going to die. Oh, holy archer. Yep. Oh, but guess what? Here comes Madman. Dun, dun. No, he's going the wrong way. Never mind. Okay, Bubbles. Very smart decision on Side Cash's part. Bottom lane in the meantime, there is a big dive going on. Swiftblade! And he is going to pay for it. Obviously, I was watching the top lane. Oh, he's going to find him! Madman does find him. And he gets the kill. This is one of those games, if you're Agent's family here on the Hellborn side, it's like, especially being down a game, oh, man. I can only imagine. It's pretty frustrating in their Skype right now. Yeah, you see Torture also going to get caught. It's most taverns on their way to an easy victory here at this rate.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not trying to like sort of criticize them in any way or trying to say that was the main reason why they lost, but I have to say the Torture rotation to middle lane for 2 minutes late. I mean, he tried to sort of have an impact into the lane, but when you're 2 minutes late to a lane, there's no impact you can really have. And as a result, they started losing middle lane, and then the other lane started losing because of that middle lane. And the good active play out from Madman secures sort of 2 or 3 kills in just the space of a couple of seconds, and you could lose the game that quickly if you give the enemy team just a slight advantage in the laning phase, and that's all they need to really get back or get so far ahead in just such a short space of time.
Yeah. So coming up to 9 minutes right here, 10-1 hero killing, nearly 6,000 gold in experience lead. Obviously in favor of our Legion team. You got Glacius stacking the jungle. Oh no, even gonna just farm it right here, farming the Vulture Lord with that Ice Imprisonment of his. Very strong tool in that case. Madman just continues to push the top lane, and actually, going to throw a barrel out and just apply more damage to the tower. So he's got Steam Boots, Ring of the Teacher, that Iron Shield, and an Energizer just purchased and going to be on the way. So not even 10 minutes into the game, might not seem like the most impressive items but for this point in time, pretty damn impressive to have those items coming for you. So Swiftblade is at the top lane with that said, trying to pick up that farm now. Obviously, they're going to really need that here on the Legion, or the Hellborn side even. But, oh, Madman missing a barrel roll right there. Just picking up some farm, though. Torture is roaming in with that said. Voodoo Jester already up here. So if Madman goes for another creep farm here, as far as the wave, he could be in a little bit of trouble. But I say that pretty lightly, because at the same time, again, his getaway potential and how farmed he is right now, pretty damn good. Bubbles in the meantime gets caught. Here we go, back to the top lane. So he is going to go into Swiftblade, but here comes the Acid Cocktail. Curse of Ground going to be applied. Chain reactions. This should definitely be a kill. Yeah, he is going to kind of get away, but not so much. So at least, finally something for the Hellborn team to be a little proud of there.
Oh, middle lane.
Oh, geez, Eruption in. The Gauntlet Blast. It only hit Rhapsody, but it is going to be enough to keep Gauntlet alive. The TP support not in time. And actually might cost them their life. Magnus goes back in. Staccato Stun's going to follow. No, Rhapsody dodges chain reaction, so Staccato not even necessary. And Torture does go down. He throws out the Disco Inferno, though, and that'll heal them up. That's a level 4 Disco Inferno, man. That is healing so much at this point in the game. So
that's a really weird item, or skill build actually come out from Zanawa.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I guess after the nerfs comes to Staccato, I guess you can somewhat justify it, but I still don't really like it. But I guess it's his play in the end. As one talking of skill builds, actually, I'm actually top lane. I'm having going in on Swiftblade.
Yeah, this is kind of one of the situations. So yeah, he's going to start falling back as soon as that level 4 spin comes out. You do not want to fight into that at this point in time. So falls back, going to be fine.
Yeah, and going back to skill builds, like, if you see Glacius, he's actually maxing the chilling presence, and I guess that's what you can do now with the increased buff to it. I guess I do like the sort of different style of play you can go. You can go obviously the hardcore sort of killing build in terms of ice and presence and Tundra Blast, or you can go for the more supportive route and help the chilling with the chilling presence. Well, in my personal opinion, I would go all out damage, cause that's just me, but in the end it does go for the chilling presence.
And that's been the way for Glacius. We do see bottom lane though, yeah, big fight going to be coming out right here. Bubbles, he's going to be cut out. He was going in, but realizing that was a poor decision as the support came in themselves. Voodoo Chest are going to be picked off as well. Swiftblade's like, I still got this. Wait, never mind. Oh, the Bat Blast, it is mitigated because of the spin at least. It did a torture in the background, the particular melody. Rhapsody may fall right here, but nope, never mind. Down goes Swiftblade. The grapple's going to catch Glacius. That might make things worse though. The stunning from Magma's trying to call it blast. He will get the kill on his Nui when it's all said and done, but he will fall on top of it all. So, again, they're kind of having fun with it. Magnus has a portal key, and he's going to go for the kill, and he'll get the kill, damn it. He is level 11 now, 12 minutes in. It's, again, we said it even earlier, but now it's even more so a point to make. This game's probably over at 15 minutes.
And, I mean, and this sort of just shows how close these teams are, though. Oh, shoot, bottom lane, though.
They're going to try to fight here again, trying to make something happen. But, I mean, that just shows you right there how just extremely ahead the Legion team is. And especially when you're the Hellborn side, when you're kind of running in like that, too, that's when you know that their mindset also is like, okay, this game's over. We're just going to maybe farm some kills here, try to make something happen. And they're still going for that. But, no, it's not going to happen. So, the end is near. I was going to talk about Glacius. So, yeah, good point about Glacius, though. And, the thing is, way back in the day, way back in my generation, so I started casting, like 5 years ago, a little more than 5 years ago. In the first year or so, and I think this translated over from Dota, as a lot of things did, obviously, at that time especially, Glacius actually maxed out the Aura first. I mean, that was the thing. You never maxed out Cure the W before Aura. That's from what I remember, at least. It wasn't until, I believe, Yoda, a name that some people might recognize, he actually started going more of an aggressive Glacius build with the Tundra Blast, with the Ice Imprisonment, and then it kind of caught on, especially with trial lanes too. That kind of caught on, and then that became the norm when it's all said and done. Yes, there's fights going on, but, what does that really matter? But nowadays, yeah, with the change to the Chilling Presence, I was kind of wondering, is this going to be something that possibly could start picking up once again? Of maxing out the Aura first. And, maybe depending on the team, I can really see if you happen to get a Glacius like in a really heavy push lineup, which, you might not, but it could make more sense now where you max out that Aura. I mean, that even allows you to spam more abilities like the heals and whatnot as you're pushing, so.
Yeah. I think in my personal opinion, the only time I actually max that is if I was in in the short lane. I was dual laning versus a suicide, and maxing sort of Ice Imprisonment and Tundra Blast just wouldn't be needed because I'm not really getting involved in a lot of kills, and then obviously I can affect or can start putting points into Chilling Presence to help my team out, because you don't really need the Ice Imprisonment or Tundra Blast. But I think in terms of going in the middle lane or in a tri lane, I'd prefer to see those skill builds. But
yeah,
alas.
Yeah, I think I do agree with you in the end. I still think the QW, the Tundra Blast, Ice Imprisonment, they're such strong tools. I mean, and that's. It seems like the main reason you pick up that hero. You don't mainly pick up the hero for his Chilling Presence, and instead of max it out first does seem a little bit odd in that sense, I guess. But what was that? He actually got denied.
Trying to deny.
Yeah.
He was fine. He only had a horn from a hatred hag that's trying to kill him.
Oh, jeez.
That was pretty funny.
The troll is real. 15 minutes, so obviously, maybe just go one last fight here. But once again, I think Most Tavern has this in the bag as far as game number 2 is concerned, and that does mean that it would be the series here if they are able to hold it off, which probably is going to happen. But again, one last fight, it's understandable, just make it happen. But again, what they're ultimately playing for, this does mean if Agent Family doesn't adhere with the loss, they are done in the qualifiers, but they will be in the gold division at a higher seed. Again, they are one of the 6 teams remaining, technically 5 teams even at this point, in the qualifiers, where 2 teams make diamond and the rest are going to be going gold at this point in time at least. So we do see middle lane Rhapsody kind of collapsing right here. This could be a Disco Inferno goes out. Eruption to follow does go out. Torture gets pulled back though, so at least he will stay alive. Gauntlet saving the day there. And Mini Beaver is still showing off his hook skills quite a bit.
Yeah, one thing I didn't actually mention before, I actually love his skill build, by the way. He actually misses all the points in Enfeeble, and I think that's the real way to play Gauntlet. Obviously, I'm only a support player, but I do prefer the max grapple, especially if you're going in a short lane, because only having one level grapple when you get level 7 is just not enough. You need that level 2 when you're around like level 7, level 8.
Yeah.
Because you miss a lot of kills, trust me. I mean, whenever I was in sort of It's Instant Reflex, our mid player always used to go at least 1 point in Enfeeble. And it would sort of mess up a lot of kills, but
yeah,
there's a lot of kills going on. I don't know if you want to comment on it or not.
I mean, we're watching them. It's
yeah.
Again, this is kind of that overtime state here of it's over, but they're kind of just having fun with it at this point in time. But yeah, 24-7 hero kills. You see the Voodoo Jester ulti's out, but it does not go through stuff. But it's still not get the kill. Oh, I think he is. Yeah. Yep. That's cursed ground for you.
BJOP.
So I think something we are learning here, though, is even with Voodoo Jester with that kill, he's not an OP hero, so his 100% win percentage is now going to go down to 50% with this loss right here. So yeah.
Now, but to be fair, that was not the reason why they lost this game so quickly. It's just because they lost the laning phase, and the only lane they actually won was bottom lane, which Voodoo Jester was in. So, I would not give any of the blame to Voodoo Jester.
Oh.
So.
That's a good point. So yeah, Voodoo Jester no longer perfect, but also yeah, carry Madman no longer 0-5. That's right. He was winless in the carry roles that he was being played in, and I don't know. Could you really classify him as a carry role this game? I mean, you could almost say Wretched Hag was technically the carry, but
I think you pretty could. I guess it depends who has the highest farm priority.
And he was,
in this case, it probably was him. So yeah, I would say he would be the carry, because although he wasn't in the short lane, I mean, he still had the most amount of farm priority. So I would say he was the carry.
Good point. Well, there you go. So he actually buys a sustainer. So Wretched Hag bought a Null Stone, and it looks like Madman may be going for one of his own. So I thought we may have been ending this game already, but no. Again, Agent's family just wants to hang in there, and why not? Again, it's a loss here. You're done anyway. So you got Swiftblade. He's almost 300 gold per minute. Maybe that'll be the start of some things to come here, but. They're going to try to train here in the middle lane. The hook attempt. I mean, Mini Beaver's looking for it, but he's not going to find the opportunity. But, I mean, that's if anything the one thing, even with the loss here, and again, going to Gold Division, I look forward to seeing this team possibly in the Diamond Division, and specifically for a player like Mini Beaver. He was very entertaining to watch today, definitely in the previous series as well, and clearly making a statement that he's one of those ganking players, specifically with those hook heroes, that's both fun and entertaining to watch. So,
And one thing to note is, we sort of casted them against Frog No Hippo, and they were sort of busting out some incredibly peculiar strats and rather innovative. Right, like the Kraken secondary support. That at first I was hating on it completely, and in the end I was a massive lover of it, and it worked so well. I mean, I even went to say that I think Kraken secondary support was the reason they won that game in the end, because he sort of added something that most secondary supports wouldn't.
Yeah.
And I'd love to see, honestly, top lane.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree there, and good to see that innovation, of course, coming out from teams like that. So side cash, on Bubbles, easy pick off there as Magnus lines up the eruption and picks up the kill. So really, they're at a case that they're just fine also extending this game. As a player, you're just still kind of fun with that said. Maybe the spectator's not the most entertaining at this point now, but as a player, you're just you're getting kills. It's easier for you than usual, and you know that you pretty much have the win in the bag anyway. So hey, they probably don't mind that this game is still going on. Here does Moe's Tavern, and padding those stats, and what we're going to try to use more of once again, obviously, and especially with Han True Season 3. And of course the great Quincy at our side to use. So definitely one of those games, get those stats up there moving on. But again, this doesn't mean they're going to be Diamond just yet. They'll need to. They're going to be, so it'll be Moe's Tavern versus Rexars will be the next round matchup. And again, they play later today as well, so they're going to play while we're casting the winner bracket finals match. And then the loser of our winner bracket finals match will then play the winner of Rexars versus Moe's Tavern tomorrow. And then that'll be the final team to move on, of course. So, but yeah, no, with that, I definitely more and more excited now. Looking forward to the next series here of Dawn versus Blue Dingleballs. Again, you look at the brackets, you're like, which two teams are we going to see as those two teams going to Diamond? Names that I didn't really recognize too much of, and understandable, but I probably would have not picked either one of those teams. That is for certain. And at least one of them is going to be going to Diamond.
I have to admit, Dawn have been playing absolutely fantastic. I mean, if there was one team I think that does deserve it, I think it was Dawn. They've been absolutely crushing, and as well as it, and they've been scrimming a lot as well. They're scrimming day in, day out, and as a result, I mean, you said before, I mean, you haven't really heard too much about them, and as a result, you know, scrims make the difference, and that's why they're in the winners bracket at the moment.
They defeated this Moe's Tavern team, I believe. Yeah, they defeated them 2 games to none on Thursday. In the winner bracket semifinals, which knocked Moe's Tavern down here. Speaking of that, Leroy's like, I'm going to completely whiff my ultimate right here. Swift Slash just comes out. The eruption, though, does get off. And again, even with a little bit of sloppy play in this overtime state, it just doesn't matter. They're so far ahead that they can have those mistakes happen. Hat trick coming out. Will he get the quad kill? Maybe even Annihilation at this rate, actually. He gets the quad kill. Oh, boy. Is this the Annihilation? You can see Leroy has it. Yes, he gets the Annihilation. And the 5-0. And then all sorts of things happen. A rage quit has popped out. A GG spam has popped. I mean, or a whoop whoop, I guess, in this case. They're disqualified. They take forfeit win. Game over. Again, I think it's safe to say again, just having fun here. It is a game. I do always like to go back to that. And, you know, I like to, you know, every once in a while, you know, seeing the attitudes like this. It's like it is a game in the end. And, you know, it's fine to have fun like that. And you can appreciate it. As long as it's not too over the top, like the old school Moon Meander days. Oh,
those are the best days, man.
Yes, the best days. We'll say that.
Oh man, good times. But so Breaky, real talk here.
Uh-oh.
I was casting with Beef, right, the last week, and Beef told me that you also are a San Diego Chargers fan.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Like, I honestly had no idea. I was talking to Beef, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be sick." You know, like NFL is like a couple of weeks or a couple of months away, and he was like, "Oh, what team do you support?" And I was like, "Oh, it's San Diego Chargers because my girlfriend's from there." And then he's like, "Oh my days, is it on Hongcast? It's just going to be an absolute San Diego Chargers like sort of advertising site."
Okay, so
and I was like, "Definitely, man."
San Diego fan too. You know, I mean that's where I grew up and everything. So until I moved out here for the S2 job, I mean that's where I grew up in San Diego, California. So yeah, definitely a Chargers fan.
Philip Rivers is going to take us to playoffs, man, this year. I believe.
He takes us to the playoffs every year, at least tries to. But there's a lot more to the team that needs to happen before we actually advance on. But hey, we don't have North Turner to deal with anymore, so. See, we're sitting here having this conversation, and it's like everyone literally listening in right now has no clue what we're talking about.
So. You'd have beef, and that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, or fantasy, actually. He knows about football, too. But.
Who does fantasy sport?
Cardinals. The Arizona Cardinals, actually, I believe. For some reason,
have you done your fantasy draft by the way as well?
What's that?
Have you done your draft?
No, actually, I got a couple of leagues that I'm going in. I'm actually going to be a commissioner of one of my leagues, the top dog. But no, the drafts are going to be happening later on in the month. So this game is still happening, isn't it?
I don't know, man. This game is so troll.
Mini Beaver DC'd 2.5 minutes ago. He rage quit. And yeah, there's still no concedes coming out. So, I mean, maybe that was more of a serious rage quit at this case. I mean, you know, wanting to make diamond, I can understand that. And there is some good prize. Again, by the way, the prize pool, it hasn't been updated here for a little bit, but I believe it's from just from like the first 4 days alone, the prize pool was already bumped up from $8,500 to overall a $25,000 prize pool for cycle number 1, and there's still 2.5 more weeks of data to kind of take in here before we're going to ultimately have the cycle 1 prize pool. And again, that's going to continue every 3 weeks from every single cycle. You know, it'll definitely vary, you know, probably depending on the avatar and whatnot, sure, but knowing that our first cycle alone is already going to be nearly as much, if not even more, than previous Dream Hacks we've had, there's good money on the line, man.
That's an understatement, man. That's an understatement.
Yeah, and that's definitely an understatement. As holy crap. And we're going to see another Annihilation. Oh, he gets the hat trick. He is an immortal. Is he really, though? Again, this is big-time stat padding
so
here,
true,
man.
Yeah.
It's just like Quincy's looking at this game right now and just like shaking his head like, come on, guys. This is
really,
guys. You're going to make yourselves look really good. What I estimate Legion have a 99. I didn't even see that. 1% of sender shows. Oh boy, I love it. Where are we at right here? It's 2:06 local time for me. So The next series is not set to start until 3 o'clock Eastern. So we will have a little bit of a break here, as we sometimes do, of course, in between. And, unfortunately, I would say, let's hop in another series, but, well, there's no other series going on right now. So we're going to... should we keep the stream on? Yeah, I could probably keep entertained. I'll just have some music going, maybe show some videos. I think the new top plays even just came out. I was hearing that. Somebody made a mention of that. So maybe show a couple of videos here and there. But we'll probably keep the stream on, but the next match isn't going to be happening until about an hour from now is probably a good estimate. So an hour from the time being, we'll probably be jumping into Dawn versus Blue Dingleballs for the winner bracket finals. So again, then that a very important matchup because the winner of that will be going to Diamond Division in the end. So and competing for all the monies as well as obviously points and well just the pride thing as well. But God, I cannot wait for Cycle 1, man.
Oh man, it's so good.
So much
like,
hype.
there's so much money on the line as well. Like the biggest amount of ponds ever had. Like, I mean, I'm getting hyped and excited just for these sort of qualifying series, let alone the actual cycle and Honsol Season 3, man. Like, it's going to be so good.
Yeah, no, it was great coming back to this, and, it's been a nice tease of what's to come for sure. And, I'm still looking forward to obviously finishing up these qualifiers throughout the rest of today and tomorrow. But, yeah, I mean, of course, at the same time, Cycle 1 is going to be where it's at in the Diamond Division and, seeing the best of the best compete, knowing what's on the line from the prize pool to the pride to the new patch. There's just so many things kind of coming together. And being back into that consistent competitive